Hey everybody, I just wanted to do something a little bit different because I have finally had enough. Um, about 2 years ago, I upgraded my phone and contract. I got the HTC One M9. As you can see, it's still in good condition. Yeah, I've dropped it a couple times, but it's never cracked the screen. It's not shown any damage. Everything's working. And there was rumors a while ago that companies were building actual lifespans into their products. So, for example, people were saying that the iPhone had a 2 year lifespan, so that by the end of the 2 years, it would be slow, buggy, things wouldn't work on it, and it became a bit of a chore to use, and bits just, and of course with the iPhone, everyone knows you drop it, it nearly instantly cracks the screen. That's why companies like HTC use Gorilla Glass, or at least I believe they do, or they did start using it. But the rumor about the lifespan, I believe it now. I mean, no one can really prove it. I mean, well, I suppose you could, but okay. I'll give you my example. So this phone, when I got it, was brand new. Was perfect. It's fine. It worked really well. It was nice and fast and everything. Um, Towards like middle end of last year, so that would have been a year and almost a year and a half. I would have had the phone because this my contract expires next month, which would be 2 years from. And this was new. I got this when it was launched. So about middle of last year, I noticed that if the battery got to, and I always run it in battery saving mode, because I don't play. If I play games on it, it's plugged in. It's plugged into the charger, and I play the games that way. I don't use it for Amazon Kindle. I don't really watch videos on it, and if I do, they're YouTube videos. They don't last very long, so I'm not caning the fuck out of the power. But it started getting to about 12% battery, and then it would just die. But it would die unexpectedly, and it would clear all my settings. For example, it died one time. It took half an hour to power back on for some bizarre reason, and when it did, it was as if the phone had been reset, like factory reset. My apps were still on there, pictures and stuff were still on there, but my settings, so my ringtones, themes, icons, anything I had customized, had been wiped. All my settings have been wiped, fonts, alarms, so that stuff. But the stuff on the storage, pictures, videos, whatever, was all still there. So this pissed me off a bit because it also reset all the apps, which means it had to go back to the Play Store and it had to re-download everything, and I mean everything. And then because some things they won't download the latest version immediately, you have to download like interim releases, so that took even longer. Well, I finally had enough of this fucking piece of shit today, because as you can see, it's working. They recently updated Android system to Nougat. I think it's called Nougat. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Nougate. Nougat. 7.0. So it changed a lot of stuff. The only things that it really changed was some text, widgets look different, and some of the icons in the taskbar at the top, they look different too. One thing I've noticed, the power is draining even faster now, which is a big problem on a phone that I have to have it in battery saving mode, otherwise it won't last. It won't last more than 3 hours. So that's the first issue I have with this. Don't forget now, I've had this phone for nearly 2 years. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, the lifespan thing. Because isn't it funny how when your contract starts to roll around, your contract renewal with your mobile provider, when it starts to roll round, all of a sudden your phone starts to become really buggy, and it doesn't last very long. Like, it becomes a piece of crap, something you can't use, really. You put the camera on and it just drains the battery like no one's business. I know I said before about Pokemon Go. I just stopped playing it because what's the point? If I'm out and I'm using it, I could probably maybe be out for like 2 hours. I leave with full battery, put the game on, go out. 2 hours later, 10%, and then I run the risk of having all my shit wiped again. Pun intended. So the other issue I have with them putting nougat on it is a lot of apps are now not working. So the Google Play Store app, and I'm going to show you. Alright, so okay, that's my all my apps. I hit the button for the Play Store. And I've waited. I've left it for 5 minutes to load the Play Store. Nothing. Okay? Should have loaded by now. I think anyone will agree. So that's pissed me off for a start. So now I can't force update any apps I have on my phone. The second problem was I noticed I wasn't getting any of the notifications for some apps. So for example, the ones I was getting were Facebook, Messenger, WhatsApp, so mostly social media stuff, okay? But my Gmails weren't coming through. I'm quite active on my email because I speak to family and stuff. They're not quite into, they don't really get the whole Facebook thing, so it's easier for them to email me. So it wasn't loading my new emails, and you have to pull down and it does the spinning wheel, and then it will load your emails, or it will at least check for new emails, right? No, it didn't do that. It just spins the wheel. 5 minutes later, it's still spinning. So I thought, well, okay, this is before so this is what I'm about to tell you is before I found out that the Play Store's fucked. Okay, so I uninstalled Gmail so that I could re-download it again, and just quickly add my accounts, and it would go, okay, sync to the server. Okay, you've got all these new emails. Let me download them. Well, I did that. Then I found out the Play Store wasn't working. So now I have this. Okay, I don't know if it will show very well. I'll try and not get light on it. But it's like as if the app's never been used. So it's asking me to add an email address. Add an email address. Okay, it gives me the choices of Google, Outlook, Yahoo, Exchange, and other providers. Okay, so I want my Google Mail, my Gmail, right? So I hit Google. Nothing happens. I'm going to try and do it so you can see what happens. If you can see that, it's doing that sort of highlighted flash that means, yeah, you've touched on it, but look, nothing's happening. So that's fucked up too. And I've gone to the settings because before I made this video, because I finally had enough and I wanted to just say, how much of a fucking letdown HTC is. Because it's a combination of HTC and Android. The fact is that when the app's not working, everything else is okay from what I can see. Like, everything I've used is fine. My games work. Maps seems to work. Gmail does not work, and now I can't. So now I haven't got a Gmail app. I can't get into the Play Store to download Inbox, I think it was called, the one that they released. So I can't get into Game Store to do the Play Store to do that. I can't get into the Play Store to update Gmail to the latest version. Why? And while I'm at it, let me talk about my provider, EE. They do not have a all-you-can-eat data deal. In this day and age, they do not have an all-you-can-have data deal. That is really not gonna sell me another package. I'll admit that I fell for this phone. Like I've always had HTCs, okay, and I really wanted another HTC phone, and the M9 was just being released, so I thought, hey, fuck it, I'll get it, okay. Phoned them up, made the deal. I was already on T-Mobile, so that was another renewal. I've been on T-Mobile since I think 2010. I was with O2. But I'm getting off track. The point is, I'm coming to the end of my contract. My phone is playing up. It's buggy. It's fucking awful. Like, the battery life is non-existent. The apps have stopped working. I actually cannot update them because the Play Store's not working. I don't know why I keep calling it Game Store, but the Play Store's not working. This leads me to believe that between the mobile providers and the phone manufacturers, they have built in a lifespan. It could be, and if anyone's tech savvy and wants to correct me, please do. But it could be that the components are wearing out. I get that. It happens with everything. It happens with game consoles, TiVo boxes, routers, computers, like PCs, laptops. I know it happens, but they degrade after maybe 5 years plus, not after 2 years. Actually, it was 1.5 when this started to fuck up. When I remember I said at the beginning of the video where my power would just drain. It would go from 10 around 10% to just flat out dead. It wouldn't even, it wouldn't even say, hey, you may want to put this on extreme saver mode in case you need to make a phone call. No, it would just die. It would just kill itself. It's gotten worse. It can get as low as maybe 18 to 20%, and then it will kill itself. That's why I run it in battery saving mode the whole fucking day. But I shouldn't have to put up with this. I'm not going with EE. I'm going to go with a different provider on a SIM-only deal, and I'm going to get a pay-as-you-go phone, because that's the only way that I can see that maybe the phone will last longer than 2 years. Because if that's how they're doing it, if every time a contract rolls round, the phone you get has a lifespan built into it, someone's going to probably call me out and say, no, there is no lifespan. It's just technology. It's just you use the phone a lot every day. Of course it's going to think. Someone's probably going to even say, why don't you do a factory reset? Because I shouldn't have to. Yeah, okay, it might be full of crap, full of. Oh, by the way, I don't download stuff that isn't on the Play Store, so I don't download any third-party apps. Okay. But it's just, what the fuck? What the hell? I probably paid for this phone 3 times over. Yeah, my contract was for 2 years, and it was about nearly like £44 a month. That's not including minutes to numbers that it doesn't cover. So what am I supposed to do? At the end of the day, I'm stuck with this until so I'm not going to renew my contract with EE. I'm going to go with a different provider who provides a unlimited data package, because in this day and age, when everything is either streamed or we are using the internet for everything to find out where we're going, if we're going somewhere we haven't been before, for navigation, a lot of people use their phone for Google Maps now. But they have to have it plugged in, because otherwise it drains the battery. That I can get. That I understand. That is a battery killer. But if you have to, for things like traffic and things like that, if you have to stream data and you go on a 2-hour drive, a 4-hour round trip, but you want the traffic being streamed and stuff, you have to have your your data on. So you're using up your data. And of course, for having your data on, your Facebook's going to go off, or this or that. And then you've used up your data allowance by the end of the month. And that is, I took the 10 gigabyte one. I never ever reached lower than 4. So, but I was convinced by the person when I took out. It's good salesmanship. They asked me what I use my phone for. I told them. And they said, "Oh, you'll probably want the 10 gigabyte thing." And I thought, well, I don't really know how much data streaming uses. I stream with Sky Go and Virgin TV Anywhere because I watch football. I watch stuff when I'm on my break at work, and stuff like that. So it's useful for me. The only problem is that now hardly anything's working. Yeah, I could do a factory reset. Yeah, it might help, but then I've lost everything and I have to start again and spend a few hours downloading all the apps that I need, or signing into my accounts and stuff like that. I shouldn't have to factory reset a phone that I haven't done anything to that would, like, it's not virused, it's not got malware. Like I said, I don't download anything from unauthorized sources. So that's why I truly believe that between a deal between the manufacturers and the mobile providers, they must have struck a deal that gives the phones a few years lifespan before they start getting shit. Because no amount of software. Okay, so say I have a software problem on this. Okay, there's no amount of software problem that should drain the battery that hard if there's nothing running. And I've checked time and time and time again about what's running in the background. I've even turned auto sync off, so emails and stuff like that, they don't get checked. It doesn't check for new emails. It doesn't push the emails through to my phone. It leaves them in the server for me to collect later. Yeah, but the battery still drains. The battery just goes. So okay, so I know for a fact that Facebook is working because I just got a Facebook notification. Okay, but is that what I'm using my phone for now? I can't email, but I can use Facebook. Maybe that's the way things are going, huh? Anyway, thank you very much for listening. If you did, if you feel that maybe there is a life expectancy on phones and stuff, leave a comment. Share your views. Tell me what you think. And thanks for watching. Appreciate it.